Hi, my name is Colin. I grew up in a very broken and dysfunctional family. There are times when I look back and I can say that I am not that boy anymore. And there is times that I look back at my teenage years and I can say that I am not that young man again anymore. There are times I look back at my 20s, at that rebellious, wild young man that I was, and realize I had no concern for myself or anyone around me. My life was consumed with alcohol and drugs. A life I never thought I would escape. There was times I never thought I'd live to see 30 years old. It was in those years that my first son was born. And in that time, I started to learn that I had a capacity to change and wanted to love. I wanted to change from a man who cared about nothing to cared about something. Having a son changed me. I wanted something better for him than I had for myself. I did so much in my own strength, but I still had to face myself. I failed, I struggled to make better choices, but all in my own power. Those years I poured myself into the AA program, willing myself to do better. I fell in and out of the program, but learning the hard work of what I needed to do to make things change. That's it. I came to the end of myself. Reality came hard. Everything, absolutely everything in my life needed to change. I look at my life as it began to fall into place. In the 30s, when most men are building their careers, building their lives, I was still struggling to hold on to the scraps of life. I realized in one huge moment, I could not do this. I remember falling to my knees and begging God to help me. I just could not do it anymore. In tears, sobbing, and crying, I begged God to either help me or strike me dead because I just couldn't do it. I was sick and tired. I just could not keep going on the way I was. I can remember that moment as if it was yesterday, the Spirit washing over me. And although at the time I could not explain it, when I stood up and I wiped away the tears, I knew that I was going to be okay. I was exhausted from the fight of just fighting life all the way. Obviously, life didn't stop here. It wasn't perfect, but I was headed in a different direction than I had ever gone, and I did not know how to live this life. It was all new to me. It was foreign to me. But I had found that I had lost the desire for that old life, for the desire of alcohol and drugs. It was no longer there. It had been removed from me. I look at my life in my 40s, raising my sons, and trying to live a life that I didn't know how to live. I found East Auburn during this time. While coming to East Auburn, I met a guy that actually, we used to be buddies back in the old days, and he had been attending East Auburn and was attending a Bible study here, and that group of men had been praying for me throughout this time. He gave me a book called The Purpose-Driven Life. The words came alive to me as I was reading this book. I believe and I receive. I believe and I receive kept pouring from my lips. And again, I was in a puddle of tears, not knowing what was happening. I've never been the same since then. I'd like to say that my life went smoothly from that point on, but nope. I still had a bigger change to face. The struggles were there, but not the same struggles. You know, it was life in itself. They did send me back to drinking and drugging. I had a great love, my Lord and Savior, on my side at this time. The last big change came from those struggles. I knew I had pain, didn't know how to let myself be loved by anyone, including God. When I looked at my life that was about to unravel again, I took a big risk and went to an intensive retreat to try and learn about who I was. It was the most significant time in my life. That pain that plagued me, all the lies of my life, came to one huge moment. The boy in me. I am a child loved by God. The weight lifted. The lies were clear. and I heard from God saying, let me love you. Today I want to be all that He plans for me. I receive and I believe I am a child of God, of the Almighty Most High.